If you're a business owner or entrepreneur, making money is important. And if making money is important, odds are you're doing it online. If you're selling anything online, then marketing is how you would do it. But what if you don't understand marketing? How would you learn? I figured copywriting would be the best place to start. And when I came across an ad for AWAI's method for in-demand copywriting, I looked at some reviews and I decided to take a chance and take the program. And I wanted to tell you about it, what I experienced, how it made me a better copywriter, and some of the lessons I learned. Just a quick disclaimer, I'm not affiliated with AWAI. I don't receive any commissions or any money from anyone for my opinion. This is just what I personally experienced and learned, and I hope it can help. So take what's useful and leave the rest. All right, so what is it? AWAI stands for American Writers and Artists Institute. It's a program that's been around since the 90s, late 90s. I can't remember the exact year, I'm sorry. But it is comprised of self-study courses. This particular one that I took, Methods for In-Demand Copywriting, was a self-study course, which is pretty cool. You can go as fast or as slow as you want. There is basically it's an explanation of what copywriting is, how it works. It gives you methods for developing successful copywriting. There's frameworks. There's opinions and advice from professionals in the field. And then there are a ton of other bonuses and like bonus materials and forums, blogs, job posts that you get access to as well. If I remember correctly, I think I got some kind of like discount. I can't remember exactly what for through the marketing. I signed up for the email list. So I got some kind of discount through that. And I think when I took the course, it was around $200 or $200 or so, I think. That also came with another program called 10 Weeks to Pro. So yeah, for both of those programs and all of the other extras and bonuses, yeah. But I don't know if that will be the price whenever you see this video. So if you are interested, just take a look at AWAI's website. All right, so why would you take this program? Like, what are some of the benefits? Why did I take this program? So I took this program because first I wanted to learn from professionals. I know that you can learn a lot of copywriting stuff online, through YouTube, through reading books, but I really liked that this program, I got to learn from professionals, from seasoned, experienced professionals who not only were able to teach me a whole bunch of things, but were able to give me a whole bunch of like nuances about the business and things that I truly feel like saved me so many years. I mean, obviously you still have to go through and learn things, but there are some things in every business that you just pick up from experience, and it takes someone who is experienced to show you or tell you those things so you don't have to necessarily go through them yourself to know them. Another reason I took this was for the professional contacts. So whether it's connections and networking through LinkedIn or through these programs and the job boards and forums and things like that, I've been able to connect with a lot of industry professionals, and I really like that, especially in the marketing and copywriting world. I'm learning it's a lot of who you know. Of course, what you know is very important, but who you know can get you jobs exponentially faster, and even jobs that aren't posted or jobs that people may not even know are jobs that they need. So, yeah. Another reason I took this program was because of the experience. As opposed to just reading a book or listening to a audiobook or listening to a YouTube video, this program gives actual experience. So through this program, I got experience writing campaigns, writing blogs, writing ads, writing sales letters, writing landing pages. So I'm really excited about that. And then also with that professional experience, you get like writing the things, you also get professional feedback on these. Um, each of the, I guess, modules in this program have different assignments that are doing. You turn those assignments into a professional at AWAI who will actually look at them and give you actual feedback. So then you would correct the mistakes or redo it with the feedback and then send it in. And then, yeah, that's how you would get participation, or that's how your participation would be proven, I guess. Another reason I took this course was for the lifetime access. Um, Even in the sales page or landing page where they get you to buy, they do mention that you will come, like once you complete this process, this course, you will come back to it later down the line once you've had a little bit more experience, and you'll learn new things. There will be new nuances that you pick up and new things that you can implement that you didn't necessarily get the first time around, because it's such a wealth of information. Like, no one person would be able to just take this course and be able to implement every single thing at one time. So I love that it's lifetime access, so you can take what you can use right now and implement that, and then try some things, mess some things up, do great at some things, and then come back and then fix those things, learn some new things, and then move forward. And then the last reason is the bonus materials. I mentioned a little bit before that this program, Methods for In-Demand Copywriting, also came with 10 Weeks to Pro. Um, but this also came with another program. It's Elise Bennon's 21-day LinkedIn challenge. I believe that's what the name of it is. But that is a wealth of information just in itself. It teaches you, or goes step by step in setting up your LinkedIn account for copywriting opportunities, for marketing opportunities, and how to optimize it best. Also, it teaches how to reach out and connect with people on LinkedIn. So that's really cool too. And then it also includes a ton of other bonus materials. There's articles, there's weekly like video calls with a whole bunch of different professionals that have worked with AWAI. Some of them are guest professionals, but they all come in and they talk about certain aspects of the copywriting world, which is completely invaluable to be able to learn from someone who's, or several people who've been in the business for geez, for 5 years, for 10 years, for 20 years, for 30 years even. It's such a great place to learn. Yeah. All right. And then before I get into the things that I learned from the course, I do just want to give like a little quick walkthrough so you can kind of get a feel for what it's like. Okay, so once you set everything up, and as far as your account, you'll come to your account login. Um, so that's just some account info. Then you'll have like your online programs. This is the method for in-demand copywriting I was mentioning before. And then some of these are some of the extra bonus materials. The Barefoot Writer, I believe that's like I want to say that's like a magazine or like a publication. Can't remember at the exact moment, but these are some of the extra programs that I mentioned earlier, that 10 weeks to pro, and then Elise Bennon's 21-day LinkedIn system. I'm not going to go through everything, but one of the things that I definitely wanted to show was this. Once you get into the course, you'll go through the intro and everything, but this is what I really want to show, like the setup. I won't go through everything, but I'd like to direct your attention to this right here. So this is a kind of a guide of what will happen in this section, right? And one of the things I really love about this course was actually the layout. I kind of expected that it would be like just videos or just a lot of text, but I really feel like it was a good mix of videos, text, um, exercises, and quizzes and things like that to like really keep you engaged. So like first they have the intro part, and then there the next part is like a video, and then there's an exercise, and then there's more text, and then more exercises, and then it gives you like a summary, like key takeaways, and then it also gives you like quizzes, assignments, things like that. So I really wanted to point that out because I that was very different than I expected, but I really love it. I really think that that helped to keep me engaged, to be honest. All right. And so I'll say top 5 lessons I learned. Um, Before I get into that, if you have an email list and you are stressed out trying to constantly come up with content for daily, weekly emails, check me out in the description. I can definitely help you out. Okay, so top 5 most impactful lessons. I say the number 5, um, there's a thing called the power of one, and it's basically how to be the most convincing, to be the most persuasive that you can be, and then to also make sure you're completely clear with the customer, is to just have one big compelling idea. Now, that's something that I wouldn't have thought of before, because my original tendency would have been to just throw as much information at the reader or the listener as possible, trying to make as many points as I can, but that's too much. No one can absorb things like that, so stick to one big compelling idea, and you can have subpoints under that. But if you stick to that one big compelling idea, it's easier for the customer or the reader, listener, viewer, client, whatever you want to call them, to follow. So definitely number 5. Okay, so number 4, I learned the 4 P's formula. Now, 4 P's stands for, okay, so the 4 P's formula, that stands for picture, promise, prove, and push. So you create a picture of what the product can do for the reader, um, promise the picture will come true if the reader buys the product, prove that the product, oh, I'm sorry, prove what the product has done for others, and then push for action. So I really loved learning about the 4 P's. It is a great formula, but what I learned was that there are formulas, right? So there are templates, whether it's the 4 Ps, whether it's the 4 Cs, whether it's PAS, whether it's ACCA, and I can talk more about those in future videos. But basically, there are all these different copywriting frameworks and useful techniques for writing better, more succinct copy and more persuasive copy. Now, these templates, they aren't necessarily forever, but they are useful and you can always come back to them, especially if you are kind of feeling stuck and you need something to kind of refresh. I think those are definitely pretty awesome for that. And then also, they're just really great for writing copy faster, right? So instead of sitting and staring at a blank page, which was a lot of what I was doing before I found this, you can start with a framework like the 4 Ps. You can list those 4 Ps: promise, push, prove, all on like a list, and then you can start with those. And that way, you're not starting with a blank piece of paper or a blank screen, and you can write copy a lot faster, a lot quicker, a lot smoother. And because you have that structure, that templated structure, you know that it'll make sense. You know that it will more than likely come out as a decent piece of copy because the structure is already built in. The words were yours, you'll switch them out and do what you need to do with those, but the structure itself will help to persuade customers more and help make the message a lot clearer. So really loved that. All right, number 3, the theory of resistance. So this one, like once it was explained in the video, it was kind of like a duh moment for me. But it is kind of one of those things that you don't really know until someone says it out loud, right? And so the theory of resistance just kind of broadly states that in a buyer-seller transaction, the buyer and seller have a kind of resistance, right? So the seller is trying to get the buyer to buy something while the buyer is trying to not waste time, not waste money, not waste energy on this, right? So any point through the transaction, whether that's a conversation, whether that's through a sales letter or sales page or landing page, ad, anything like that, that the buyer can kind of dismiss the message or kind of push this away or resist it as much as possible, that will happen. The buyer will naturally do that, and not just at the beginning of the talk or conversation, but all the way throughout. So that's something to definitely keep conscious of. And with that, you want to help the user like solve a problem or want to help them discover something new to help to lower that resistance. So yeah, definitely a great thing to know, because once you hear it, you're like, well, duh, of course, people are resistant about spending money. That when people are selling to them, they don't want to spend a lot of time, money, and energy on that. But as a copywriter, once you know that and you're completely aware of that, you can work on that. You can work on systematically going around that resistance. And in some cases, you can use that resistance to your advantage. Okay, number 2 most impactful thing. It was definitely something that I mentioned before, but it was the exercises for practical experience. Creating a landing page, creating a blog, an ad, a sales page. Like through this program, through this course, I created an entire campaign, right? So doing that, not only do you get experience with learning to do each part of the campaign individually, like a sales page or a landing page, an email, an ad, but I also got experience with creating an entire campaign, seeing how all the parts fit together. Because if you don't have that kind of overview of how your marketing is working, I don't think it will work. If the landing page that takes you, I'm sorry, the email that takes you to the landing page aren't connected, then the customer won't click on the email or won't click on the landing page. Also, with other parts too, if the blog and the landing page don't have cohesive copy, then the customer, first off, may think it's a scam and just automatically be resistant and leave. So that's a huge learning lesson. I just loved getting the actual experience and the feedback. So getting someone to actually look at the things that you've created and give you tips that you can use to improve it, make it better. I feel like that was really worth its weight itself, or worth the cost itself. And then the number one thing that I learned from this course, and it's something about copywriting in general, is to write like how you talk, or more importantly, write how the target talks. You definitely want to write how you talk. You want the copy to be conversational, because if you are trying to, I don't know, recite an encyclopedia entry, trying to sound smart, then the client or the customer will again be resistant and tune out. But when you write like how you talk and you have a conversation with the prospect, client, customer, it's a conversation. First, just a conversation gets people to let their guard down first. But then also, when you not only write how you talk, but you write how the target talks, they will trust you more, because you've taken the time to understand them, to research them, and that helps to build a deeper connection that can help you with sales right at the moment, but will definitely help you with sales down the line, especially if you have a product that you may not be able to get a conversion right away, or especially if you are an email marketer and you are nurturing your customers in order to make a purchase later. All right, and as a special thank you for sticking with me through this whole review, I want to give you an extra thing that I learned that's super useful. And it's this: what you're really selling when you're writing copy, right? Whether you are writing about gardening, writing about finance, writing emails, writing sales pages, landing pages, what you're really selling isn't necessarily a product. What you're selling is an outcome. What you're really selling is transformation for people from where they were, that's not happy, that's not ideal, that's not something that they want or something that they need. What you're selling is the transformation to that other thing that they do want, that place of happiness, that successful thing, that thing that they desire. That's what you're really selling, the outcome, what they will get from that, how that will make their lives so much better, so much of an improvement. So if you are looking into AWAI's method for copywriting course. Hopefully, this has helped you out. And if you want to learn more about copywriting, then check out this video here.